I looked at my watch. 30 minutes until my next clinic started. That didn't happen often during my respirology rotation, so I stepped into an exam room and sat down at the computer. In the back of my mind, I thought, I probably shouldn't be looking at my own blood work, but I was curious. I had been short of breath, even throwing up after biking to work. I knew something was wrong, but I wasn't prepared for what I saw. A high white blood cell count, low hemoglobin, and the note at the bottom, consistent with leukemia. 3 days later, I was on a plane back to Toronto to begin chemotherapy. I had read everything and knew my prognosis was not good. I had just gotten engaged and thought I was going to plan a wedding while finishing residency, and now everything felt so uncertain. I started treatment and was told I would need a bone marrow transplant. I was thrilled when I was told the cancer was in remission. But then one morning, 3 months in, I started to get uncontrollable chills in my body. I woke up to the Olympics blasting on TV. The hospital bed felt so uncomfortable, and I tried to move my legs, but I couldn't. I felt so weak. The doctor told me that I had been in the ICU for a month, on a ventilator, in a medically induced coma the whole time. They didn't expect me to survive. The induction and consolidation chemo had gone so well, and had remembered thinking maybe I should go back to work as I wait for a transplant, and now I could barely move my legs on high-flow oxygen. For the next few weeks, every day felt the same. The doctors and nurses checked my vital signs and would talk about my fever and oxygen levels. I felt helpless, like I would be in the hospital bed the rest of my life. But I couldn't accept this. We had a date for our wedding. I needed to be well enough to get my transplant. I had lots of living to do. I asked for a physiotherapist that day. The first time using the platform walker, my legs felt like noodles. Going from the bed to the door looked impossible. But I tried to move every day, using all the knowledge I had gained from my specialty training in physiatry. As I was able to move more, I began to feel like I could survive this, and my mentality changed. When I got off the wall oxygen to a tank and made it into the hallway, I knew I would make it home. When I made it home, I knew I could get rid of the walker. When I walked down the aisle without a walker, I knew I could survive my transplant. I had lots of emergencies and challenges after my transplant, but 2 years after my initial diagnosis, I restarted my residency. I was worried I'd be a bit rusty, but I quickly discovered that I was far ahead after spending so much time reading while in the hospital. Eventually, I recognized a gap in rehabilitation for cancer patients, and I did a fellowship at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Texas. Today, all the patients I see are cancer survivors, and I am training other physicians in cancer rehabilitation in the same hospital that I was treated. I help others understand that healing can begin wherever a person is in their journey, and it helps remind us both to keep moving forward.